Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? JC here today from Fittest Gamers, and today I present to you all the top 10 moments of WrestleMania 39 in WWE 2K23. We're going to have all the top 10 moments presented in this video in highlight form. We're going to go down from moment number 10 all the way down to moment number 1. Have some great highlights of the match presented to us by WWE 2K23. So I hope you all enjoyed. Get ready for an action-packed video. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button when the video is over to get more exciting content just like this. And also, stay tuned because we are also going to do a highlight version alone with no commentary of this. Hope you all enjoy. Leave a like, comment, and sub. JC from Fittest Gamers. And we're going to get the video started now. Boom. So we are kicking it off with number 10, which is, of course, The Miz coming out with Snoop Dogg. In this moment, it's two matches. It's the impromptu matches that The Miz had on Saturday night and on Sunday. So on night 1 and night 2, The Miz faced Pat McAfee and, of course, Shane McMahon after, Snoop Dogg pointed out that The Miz had an open challenge. Then, boom, Pat McAfee answered to it saying that he didn't see it anywhere. When Pat McAfee came out, the whole crowd went crazy. It was a sea of roars. Seeing him come back, Michael Cole was excellent on commentary, calling him out, talking about Pat McAfee, high praise for McAfee, while Corey Graves was trying to bury him. But, of course, the match was what it was. Pat McAfee doing some great athletic things. The Miz obviously showing that The Miz could work with absolutely anybody. The Miz could put on a great match with a fun match. This was the entertainment part of WWE here. This was absolutely great. No complaints here. Pat McAfee comes off on top with a great punt and a great assist from George Kittle. So Pat McAfee won. Crowd was amazing. The next night, Shane O'Mac returned. Crowd went absolutely nuts. The sad thing is, trying to do a basic spot, he completely tore his quad. Couldn't continue, but no wait to panic, no reason to panic. Snoop Dogg came in, gave a knockout punch to The Miz, delivered the people's elbow with ease, and Snoop Dogg walked away with the WrestleMania victory. If this was improvisation, then this man is truly a legend, an absolute legend. With the 9th moment, we have Omos versus Brock Lesnar. Omos didn't really control the whole match, but he showed that he could ragdoll Brock, trying to prove to the people that he's a force to be reckoned with, and in the future could be a future champion years down the road, I say, because right now I don't think Roman Reigns and Cody, I don't think that rivalry is going to end for like another 2 years. And then, of course, Brock Lesnar took Omos to Suplex City real quick and delivered him with obviously one of the most devastating finishers in all of professional wrestling, the F5, which is an absolute feat. Of course, Lesnar tried to give the F5 at first, struggled with some lower back pain. Of course, as being tossed around, he's not used to being tossed around like that. So, of course, gave out a little bit. The back gave out a little bit, but wait no further as he delivered the F5 right after and walked away with the victory at WrestleMania. So there we have it. Brock Lesnar, an almost decent match, so to speak. The 8th moment, we have Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. So the biggest takeaway here was, of course, the great athleticism that was provided to us, the great wrestling that we saw. Logan Paul, I don't like him, but you know what? He's an amazing wrestler. And of course, he's working with Seth Rollins, so anything could happen here, right? Of course, there were some great spots in this match with the big table that was broken that we're going to show you at the end of this clips. But nonetheless, Logan Paul showed his athleticism, gave an absolute beautiful moonsault early in the match. Had some domination for some time, and then of course this is when the tables turned. Literally, he tried to put Seth through a table. His buddy KSI ended up being the one that took the spot for him as Seth Rollins reversed it, and it was none other than Logan Paul that went through the table, and this was the beginning of the end of his night right here. Can't make mistakes with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins then delivered, of course, his pedigree. Might not be too accurate here, but this is accurate here. Gave him the curb stomp, and boom, boom, boom. The match was over before you know it. And the 7th moment was, of course, Asuka and Bianca Belair had one of the best entrances in all of WrestleMania. Bianca Belair had probably one of my favorite WrestleMania entrances ever. The cutest entrance ever with the little girls dancing was absolutely amazing. As terms for the match, that was the top moment for me. In terms of the match, well, it was pretty good. It's what you expect from Asuka and Bianca Belair. I mean, people wanted Asuka to win. Asuka had the miss. He missed with the mist, which led Bianca Belair to absolutely take control. This was the beginning of the end, of course. You can't make mistakes when you're facing champions or ex-champions. You can't make mistakes, and Asuka missing with the mist led to the finale of this match. And yeah, the moment that mist came out, it was over, and Bianca Belair was able to retain her women's championship. She did an excellent job. Round of applause for Bianca Belair. And now we're going to move on to the 6th moment of the night. The 6th moment of the night was none other than John Cena versus Austin Theory in a match where it was about 50-50, I'll say 75-50. Theory delivered some great fisherman suplex, I think it was called, or suplex, and then John Cena delivered some of his own, so Cena was taking some spots, it was back and forth, and we have the Cena comeback that was happening here, but then, unfortunately, we all know what happened, so we're going to get to that now, but the match, it was Cena pretty much controlling the entire match, gave him the 5-knuckle shuffle. Right after the 5-knuckle shuffle, you know what came next, trying to give him an attitude adjustment, but Theory ended up reversing it, and when he reversed it, well, gave Cena a low blow. No one noticed. Ref didn't notice. Gave him the ATL. Boom. And the match was over. Austin Theory retained his title and he defeated John Cena at the grandest stage of them all. We have to pretty acknowledge that it's a great win for him. Wasn't a clean win, obviously. People weren't too happy with it. Give him a shot. The tables are turning with this win. Passing the torch, maybe. And the fifth moment was, of course, the movie that was Edge versus Finn Balor. Demon Balor is back, and this was, this was a spectacle. The match was what it was because Balor got cut, but the entrances alone and the promo video leading up to this match was a thing of beauty. So the movie, this match itself was a movie. This wasn't really meant to be, what's the word I'm looking for? This was not meant to be a 5-star match. I mean, Balor got hurt, so that's why we got what we got, but he did some amazing spots nonetheless. So bravo for him for keeping the show going. And yes, Edge ended up prevailing. Not many people were happy about it, but it was for what it was. The entrances was a movie, the match was a movie, and that's why it's a top moment for me. So the reason I have Dominik Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio so high on the list is because the entrance that Rey Mysterio gave us with Eddie's music, it was absolutely beautiful. I mean, we can't have it here because unfortunately he doesn't come out with the car in this stadium or arena, so I couldn't do it. He came out in the lowrider, paid tribute to Eddie. Nonetheless, the match was absolutely amazing, and the feud's not over, but the match was great. It was what it was. The entrances were a spectacle, and that's why I truly enjoyed this. This had a Mania feel to it, from the entrance to the match itself, from father versus son, Bad Bunny interfering, helping Ray win. Yeah, I'm gonna have it as a top moment. Too much star power not to have it as a top moment. So now, let's move on to the next moment. Moment 3. And moment number 3, Rhea Ripley versus the Queen, Charlotte Flair. The showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania, right? If it's a showcase of the Immortals, it needs some Immortals, right? So why not the ultimate, the baddest of all, Rhea Ripley versus the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Boom. Absolute banger WrestleMania match, headlines everywhere. Who's gonna prevail? Beautiful story here. Rhea Ripley wins the Royal Rumble. Can she win it here? That's why this is so high on the list. It was a back and forth affair, non-stop back and forth action. You had no idea who was going to win. Maybe you wanted Rhea to win, but at some point in the match, you were like, oh, Charlotte's going to win. There was never a doubt in terms of what is going to happen. It was always like, oh, that's going to happen. And then it changed to, oh, no, this is going to happen. And that's what made this match an absolute greatness. Rhea Ripley, everything she touches turns to gold. Charlotte Flair, everything she touches turns to gold. You put them together, they're going to create a gold mine in WrestleMania. They're going to create memories. And ultimately, of course, Charlotte Flair had her A game. But in the end, the one that ended up prevailing was the one that gives the Rip Tide. So Rhea Ripley ended up prevailing. So happy for her. Finally got the big one over Charlotte, defeated the Queen, and that's what she wanted to do. That's what she sought out to do, and now the future is absolutely bright for Rhea Ripley. She is our new Women's Champion, SmackDown's Women's Champion. So now let's move on to moment number 2. So I think we all know what moment number 2 and moment number 1 are going to be. Doesn't matter what the outcome is. Maybe some of us were disappointed with the outcome of the certain match. That you guys know what I'm talking about, the main event. But it doesn't matter about the outcome. It matters about the story being told in the match. And this cultivation here, this culmination here between Sami Zayn's Kevin Owens versus the Usos is an absolute thing of beauty that we witnessed. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. It's one of the top WWE stories of all time, if you ask me. And first time ever in WrestleMania, the tag titles main evented the show. And I think it's the first time ever the tag titles main evented any pay-per-view ever. I could be mistaken. If I'm wrong, please correct me below and let me know what pay-per-view the tag titles went on last for. This is an absolute amazing thing. The match was back and forth action non-stop. Sami Zayn was getting absolutely destroyed. Gave a hot tag to KO. KO came in to help and save the day. And shortly after, Sami Zayn delivered the haluva kicks to Jey Uso non-stop. It was bang, bang, bang. Set the tone. The match is over and we have new tag team champions. The Usos' legendary run has officially ended. Is this the demise of the bloodline? I don't know, because we all know what happens in moment number 1. Nonetheless, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have their WrestleMania moment. Michael Cole was excellent on commentary talking about PWG and like their their early starts and how they got here, and it's just an absolute thing of beauty. I almost cried. Not gonna lie, I did cry a little bit watching them prevail, and that is why that is moment number 2 on the WrestleMania moment list. Moment number 1, Cody Rhodes finished his story versus Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table. Looking back a couple years ago, you would not think Cody Rhodes would be here. You would not have thought he would have made it to where he was. That's what makes this story so beautiful. That's what makes this rivalry a thing of beauty. You have the Machine versus Cody Rhodes. From undesirable to undeniable. Remember that. So this was this is obviously going to be number 1 despite the outcome of the match. The match was absolutely hard-hitting. The entrances set the tone. The entrances were absolutely electric. Simple, but electric. And everyone had goosebumps. I had goosebumps watching at home. And you would have had goosebumps if you were there or watching at home too. I had goosebumps in my couch. I felt like I was actually there. I was so invested into this match that when he lost, I felt like I just lost everything. But the match was so great. They both had great athleticism on display. Both had great wrestling skills on display. Great psychology. Great moves. Cody Rhodes with tons of comebacks in the match. Hits a beautiful Cody cutter on Roman Reigns. But then Roman Reigns ended up taking control shortly after. We all thought it was going to be over there. Unfortunately, it was not. We thought it was going to be over because we thought Cody was going to, win it there. But the match ended up being longer, which is always great. Roman Reigns was just on the offensive edge. Of course, he had a couple assists from Solo Sikoa until he got ejected. Gave a couple Superman punches, but then Cody Rhodes had a key and pivotal reversal of the spear. That's what kind of changed everything for him. Delivered the crossroads, but it wasn't enough. And then they had a back and forth affair where the crowd was going, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. You know what I'm talking about there. And then ultimately Roman Reigns connected with another Superman punch, connected with his spear. Tried to get Cody Rhodes in his submission that made many tap in several title defenses that he's had. This helped him, keep this run so long, his title run so long. But then Cody, already we think is going to end, delivered 2 crossroads, and on the second one, Solo Sikoa interfered, gave Cody Rhodes a Samoan spike. After being ejected, he came from the crowd, Samoan spiked Cody Rhodes, which gave Roman Reigns an opening to spear him, and before you know it, the match was over. When the referee counted 3, everyone just had a gasp of air like, did that just happen? And that's exactly how it went down. But this is moment number 1 because this is one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. One of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. And this just started a new rivalry. We have our new Rock versus Austin right before our eyes with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Yeah. If you are still here, I just want to say thank you so much, IJC for this gamers. Really appreciate you. Remember that God is good. God is real. Miracles do happen. I am a living proof of those miracles. Remember Hulk Hogan's mantra of say your prayers and eat your vitamins, brothers and sisters. Remember John Cena's mantra of never give up. Thank you all once more for tuning in. Remember to brush your teeth, wash your hands, clean your ass, never give up. And you could be in a main event of WrestleMania someday. Never doubt, always believe. God bless you all. Much love always. JC, and I'm logging out.